Have you ever noticed how a tree grows? It doesn't panic, nor does it rush, nor does it doesn't hesitate to grow. Instead, it grows towards the sunlight. It doesn't aim to chase it. It doesn't freak out while trying to catch up with it. It simply reaches it bit by bit, day by day. Eventually, it arrives to its destination and it reaches its ultimate growth point. Overall, it grows in the direction of what it needs without forcing anything on itself. People nowadays get so obsessed with chasing success, chasing validation, chasing everything they want, everything that they want, every materialistic item, every non-materialistic thing. They overindulge themselves in trying to chase those things. And eventually they begin to lose track and lose progress of something that the trees themselves understand far better than us, even without a brain. Growth is a natural process, not a desperate one. If the sun moves from location to location, the tree doesn't pull itself out of the ground in order to run across the field, Instead, it bends, it twists, it adapts to its environment, and it moves around in a way which allows it to obtain the sun in its best way possible. All it does is grow towards the light, because that is what it's built to do. And if you yourself are smart about your life, you'll stop and think. Like, if you actually stop and think for once, you'll realize that you are too. You're built for growth. You're built to stretch and morph into your potential. You're built to become something that you intend to be. The more you chase what you think you need, the further away you're going to get from that, that growth point which you have to reach. You don't have to run after success. You have to become the kind of person that naturally attracts it. You have to become successful, not chase it. You're like a tree. You have to be rooted deep. You have to be deep into the work, the underground, hidden work, which no one else sees. And eventually you will grow. You'll grow higher and higher and higher. And all you have to do is aim towards the sun. You don't need to become frantic or crazed or anything like that, because growth is inevitable. It's going to happen regardless. So it's your way to control whether or not you'd want to grow in the right direction. Because the further you grow in the wrong direction, the way harder I can't speak. The further you grow in the wrong direction, the harder it's going to be to get back to the right track. When you look at the natural world, outside nature, it's pretty hard to go outside nowadays. Everyone's online, but you'll see a simple truth about outdoors. The strongest growth is always the slowest. The tallest trees always take the longest to rise. However, here you are, checking your phone 25 times a fucking day for a signal or a sign that your work is actually paying off. You refresh the numbers day in, day out. You're checking your bank account to see if the paychecks hit. Instead of asking, am I on the right track? Instead of looking around and wondering, you're constantly asking yourself, is it happening yet? Is it happening yet? Have I made it? Have I succeeded yet? Am I there? Imagine if a tree had gone and done that, Am I tall yet? Am I taller than the tree next to me? Am I taller than that tree? Should I move to a better spot? Should I move to a spot with more sunlight? Should I grow in this direction? The tree would die before it even reaches half of its potential. Before it even has a chance to grow, it would die. Your job isn't to chase. Your job is to cultivate, to root yourself where the sun is, where the opportunities and the habits and the growth mindset comes from. We've all heard that quote which says, if you want to, I've forgotten it. If you want to get bees, you don't chase the bees. Instead, you grow a beautiful garden and the bees will come to you because they're attracted to the garden. It's pretty similar in this case, If you want success, you don't chase after success. You grow yourself that garden, which is your mindset, which is your habits, which is everything you do. And eventually success will come to you. You'll attract that success, the law of attraction. Your job, like I said, it isn't to chase, because you have to understand that you have to surround yourself with people who push you upwards. You have to surround yourself with the habits that help you grow. And eventually you will grow towards that goal. You'll naturally grow towards it if everything around you is supporting you to grow towards that goal. All you have to do is be patient and be unapologetic and understand that you will make it there eventually. Everything will fall into place if you believe in yourself and you know you're on the right path. So the brutal truth is that, if you're always chasing, if you're always telling the world and yourself that you're lacking, then you're not going to be enough. If you tell yourself that you're not enough yet, if you tell yourself that you're incomplete, you will be. Because if you live in that mindset, you will stay incomplete. Because the growth which is rooted in shit soil, the growth which is rooted in desperation is weak. If you plant a sapling in poison soil and you don't water it every day, obviously it's not going to grow anywhere close to or even grow at all compared to the better tree, which is in better soil and more water, more fertilizer, everything like that. You don't need to chase the light. The light comes towards you. You need to become light enough to rise towards the light. It's completely a different energy. I'm going to quote Marcus Aurelius once again, which I have been doing in a lot of my past videos. Again, I can't explain how much Marcus Aurelius's work and words apply to nowadays, even from the however long ago he was. So one of his quotes says, what stands in the way becomes the way. He's not talking about running, he's not talking about walking. He's talking about facing life head on as a challenge. He's talking about standing there, being rooted and choosing to move through the challenges instead of winding yourself around them, instead of running away from them as well. Because imagine if the tree had a challenge in front of it, and instead of growing up, it saw this challenge and it went around it and it looped around it and then it went up. That would take way longer for the tree to go around than if it just had to, confront it head on and solve that problem. The trees don't run from the storms that are coming towards them. The trees endure them and they grow thicker bark. They grow stronger roots to adapt to these scenarios and these weather events. Because you're not meant to dodge every single difficulty. You're meant to absorb the difficulties. You're meant to use them to allow yourself to get stronger. Lost my words there. Sorry. The goal of growing isn't to escape life's hardnesses or harshness. It's to outgrow it. It's to understand that, yes, it's going to be in the way. So what can I do to develop myself so that it doesn't affect me? You don't force a tree to grow by screaming at it to grow faster. You don't yank it upwards by its trunk to try and get it to grow any faster. You make sure that it has good soil. You make sure that it has a steady water source. And you make sure that it has strong roots. And then you allow it to grow itself. You allow patience to become your biggest virtue. That is how you need to treat yourself. Don't treat a tree like that. Or don't treat your plants in the garden like that when you're not even going to treat yourself like that. Get your environment right. Get your habits right. Get your influences right. And get your attitude right. And everything will fall into place. You don't have to chase the success if you're building yourself into someone who cannot help but succeed. If everything you do and everything you attract is in the idea of success, then obviously you're going to become successful. Not every tree has to become, a redwood. It doesn't have to become super tall. It doesn't have to become fucking the tallest tree in the world. No, some trees will grow short. Some trees will grow wide. Some trees will be tall and thin. Some trees will bloom flowers and some trees will bear fruits. None of them waste their none of those trees are wasting their Fuck me, I can't speak. None of those trees are wasting their time aiming to be another tree. All they do is fulfill their own nature. All they do is fulfill the path that they've been set in because they know that it's futile trying to become a different tree. The more you waste your time comparing your timeline to someone else's, your growth to someone else's, the more you'll be in a standstill. The more you're going to set yourself back. And then once you actually decide that you have to find your own path, you're already going to be behind compared to what you could have been. It's better to grow in silence than to rot in noise, It's better to not explain to the world why you're taking your time and instead just take your time. Understand that you are the only thing that matters to you. You don't owe the world performances, nor do you owe them any explanation. You don't owe anyone anything except yourself. You owe yourself growth. You owe yourself effort. And if you have growth, if you have effort, and if you have that environment which is bound to set you up for success, then you have everything you need. No, you don't need to chase anything. If you have that, you have what you need to become successful. You don't need to chase anything at all. You don't need to catch up to anyone else, nor do you need to be the loudest in the room, nor do you need to be the fastest or the flashiest in the room. All you need to do is have patience and trust and believe that you are on the right path and ensure that your environment is set up in a positive way, and you will become successful. All you need to do is become deeper in your roots. All you need to do is become stronger at your outside, your bark. And all you need to do is become wiser by growing older and in trusting in your path. Because you need to stop living like your dreams are running away from you, when in reality, you're the one running away from them because you see a little bit of hardship. The dreams are simply waiting for you to grow up and meet them where they are going to wait for you. You are the tree. The light is already there. The light is already shining on you. Simply grow towards it. Bit by bit, day by day, just as I said at the start. Don't apologize to anyone. Don't rush anything. Simply grow. Because the tree doesn't chase the sun, and neither should you. Thank you.